Hello, I'm Margaret. Welcome to Aging Fitfully. I have Lucia with me today, and Lucia is going to demonstrate some of the things we talk about, but who knows what they really are? You know, we talk about deadlift. What the heck is that? Picking up a dead body? Well, actually, it would apply. That's picking up a dead body, wouldn't it? Lucia, talk a little bit about I know you do work here at the Y. Talk a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, I'm a personal trainer here at the YMCA.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Margaret, for having me here.
Oh,
I appreciate this opportunity to share this with everybody and you.
thank you for being willing to do this because I think this has been a gap in Aging Fitfully. We throw these terms around, and who the heck knows what we're talking about?
My clients are usually in their 70s and 80s.
Whoa, well, that's our audience. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Are most of them new to fitness? Like, you just described, like, are these seniors that have been fit all their life and they're bumping it up a bit, or these are...
Surprisingly, some of them are. Some of them are very fit. They've been fit their whole life and they continue. Even in their 80s, they continue to be fit, very strong, very, very strong. Some of them are trying to maintain their health and they've never been into fitness, but they're doing basic movements, basic, functional movements. Some of them are recovering from injuries or surgeries. Yeah, so there's a variety.
I can understand somebody recovering from an injury or an illness. That would motivate them to get over here. What other motivations do you see? Let's first of all talk about the people that have been fit all along.
Yeah.
What motivates them to suddenly say, I need a trainer?
They want someone to keep them accountable.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then what about somebody who's brand new to the whole fitness thing? What is motivating them to...
Well, some of my clients mentioned their friend dying from cancer, dying, obesity and all these issues, heart attacks. And so they suddenly feel this need to start their fitness journey, even in their 70s, 80s. Some of them come to me thinking it's too late, but they're with me for a few months and then they progress and they see the benefits and they stay for way longer than that.
Oh, that's so wonderful. It must be so rewarding to see somebody begin to see the benefits and get healthier. And we're going to demonstrate some of the moves that you've heard us talk about that you may not have the slightest idea what they actually are. And some of the equipment as well. We're going to keep it simple. This is not an exercise lesson. So just before we get into this, tell me, what do you see seniors especially need in terms of explanation of these things? What are their knowledge gaps when you say, okay, we're going to do deadlift now, we're going to do... what gaps do they have that you see?
Definitely functional movement. Definitely that's what they usually look for. Not the name of the exercise. It is important to know the name of the exercise, but they also want to know what is good for, what is the function of the workout.
Okay, all right. Well, let's jump in and start explaining some of that. And I think we should start with deadlift. First of all, she's going to show a deadlift, and then we're going to talk about the body part that it helps and why it matters to seniors. Okay. Yep. Let's see what a deadlift looks like.
Yeah, this is a deadlift. And here, basically, we're working out the lower part of the back. And this is very important for daily movements, especially when we are trying to put our shoes on and taking them off, picking up something from the floor. Yeah.
What if a person has problems with their lower back? Would this be something they shouldn't do?
I would definitely recommend for them to talk to their doctor before they start working out, because it could be good for someone and it not be good for someone else.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So now you would be able to address if somebody comes to you and says, well, I want to work out but I have lower back problems.
Yeah.
Can you accommodate that in the workout you create for them?
Oh yeah, we usually start with lower weights. This one, for example, is only 10 pounds. But we can start with 3 pounds, even just 3 pounds, doing just the movement, even without weights, just body weight.
Right.
Because that's functional, that's normal, that's a daily movement that we do. We don't need to use weights for that one.
Okay, so let's talk about squats, which are kind of like they sound, but I'm thinking of them because they're not totally different from a deadlift, and they're very common. And I know for myself, I can do a squat with way more weight than pretty well anything else because those big muscles.
The quads,
So Lucia, if you would demonstrate, what is it?
This is a front squat. This is a sumo squat.
All right, so let's name some of this equipment. I know in a lot of the early classes, people are using these little guys. It's not unusual for people to start with, and some of them actually stay with these for a long time. Okay, what do you call these?
Dumbbells.
Okay. Yeah. And are they still called dumbbells when they're a great big thing with the weights on the end?
Like, the big bars?
Yeah.
No, those are not dumbbells. That would be a barbell.
Okay, okay. So these are dumbbells.
Yes.
And all of these little ones are dumbbells. Okay, we've got a range of sizes down here on the floor. So, Lucia, one of the common things that people are doing with dumbbells is a bicep curl. Okay. What's that working, and what's the value to a senior of that?
Well, this one is for the bicep.
Okay.
So when we do this movement, we contract this muscle, and we're stabilizing this with the shoulder and the core, but it's basically mainly for the bicep. And this is really good for seniors. They often tell me they want to pick up their grandsons, their granddaughters, and they want to have this strength to pick them up from the floor, or when they sit down, pick them up. And for, carrying groceries, moving a chair to sit down, opening the door.
It's pretty basic stuff.
Yeah,
especially for gardeners, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you're going to be doing gardening. Okay, so it's the muscles in the front that it's helping. Lucia reminded me that there are two terms that it took me a while to figure out what the heck they're talking about. So tell me what the terms are around a bicep curl and what they mean.
Yeah, so any movement that we do at the gym when we lift weights, or when even not without weights, just body weight, the movements that we do is concentric and eccentric. So concentric is the shortening of the muscle, and eccentric is the lengthening of the muscle, going back to the resting form.
I know that there is a tendency for some people to put all their effort into this and then just sort of flop down. Okay, so just talk about why that's missing the boat.
Yeah, well, both movements are equally important. I would say even eccentric would be more important.
That's the going down.
Going down.
Yeah, and do you call that lengthening the muscle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going back to the resting form, and it uses less force, less energy, and less motor units. So when we lift it, we're using a lot of energy basically just to lift it. And so when we bring it down, that's when the muscle fibers extend, and that's when we call it damage, because the muscle, when it damages and then it repairs, and that's when it grows.
Okay, let's just dwell on that for a minute, because damage sounds serious. But I've heard that talked about before. Like it's like little teeny
tears.
And the harder you're working that muscle, the more that's going to happen.
Yes.
And probably if you just kind of keep doing this for several months, you're maybe not getting a lot of that happening. Like if it's easy, right?
If it's easy, there's no growth. There is strength, there's muscle tone, and there are changes, there are benefits, obviously.
Okay.
But if you want muscle growth and bone density, you gotta put more weight. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's gotta be. You gotta make an effort.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Kettlebell, which is just the most ridiculous term imaginable. Like, what can we possibly be referring to? It is a piece of equipment, and it's a piece of equipment that I kind of like because it's easier on my hands, which have challenges. But Lucia, you're going to show us some kettlebells and how they're used. They probably, like I use them for squats. Is that how most?
Yeah, that's how most people use them for squats. Yeah, really no difference. Really no difference doing this.
Yeah.
And then doing the same movement with a kettlebell.
Yeah.
There's really no difference.
Okay.
I think. And there's another movement that I really like, which is a sudden movement. So you bring the kettlebell down and up. And this is really good to train people for stability. So people for sudden movements. And there's another one that I really like, but we only do this one with smaller kettlebells. And it's bringing it to the front and then around the head. It's called a halo. So we go around the head, and this is really good for the shoulders.
Okay, yeah. And that's a weak spot in seniors.
Yes, because we usually, when we get stuff from like up higher or when we shower, we need to do this movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And a lot of seniors get like shoulder dislocations, and yeah.
Why do we care?
We care because this is what keeps us standing, and is what keeps us moving, and what gives us to what makes us stabilize when we walk, when we sit down. Any movement that we do, we need core 100%.
Yeah. And it seems to me that becomes more obvious when we start working out, like that. When we're doing
the lack of strength.
Well, that you tighten your core when you're going to do this, even though that's not a core thing, but that's supposed to happen, right?
Yeah, because it stabilizes your body. Any exercise. You use core for any exercise.
Okay.
Standing up, yeah.
All right. Okay. So when a senior arrives for the first time, maybe a little bit intimidated, how can you introduce them to fitness that works for them as their individual needs? Just talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I normally assess each client because everybody's so different. It doesn't matter what age. My 80-year-old clients could be even stronger than someone in their 60s. So it doesn't matter the age, it matters where they're at. So I usually assess them without weights first because I want to see their form. And then with weights to see what's the maximum they can lift, and then we go from there.
The maximum that they can lift at the beginning.
Yes, it could be 3 pounds or it could be 2 pounds, but there's their max, and that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Lucia, thank you so much. This is I feel that this information has been a gap, and so you filled it. So
thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Please share this with anybody that you think needs to figure out what the heck we're talking about. And we'll see you next time.